Good evening and welcome to another segment of Learn with Liz and Jazz. How are you today, my sister?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Liz?
I am doing wonderful. I am doing wonderful. I'm excited about tonight's topic.
Me too. Me too. Let's get it in. Let's get it in.
Let's get it in. We have been on the series of talking about and explaining what different types of men look like. And so tonight we are going to talk about healthy relationships as a whole, with just seeing what our definition of a healthy relationship is and how do you create balance. So you want to kick us off, my sister? What does a healthy relationship look like for you?
Healthy relationship looks like to me. Well, gotta have God in your life. That starts off with that. You gotta have good chemistry. That's even
Mm-hmm.
with your husband, your friends. You need good chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Good chemistry. Um, good habits. Good habits. Um, show affection. When I say show affection, just holding hands and loving on them. You know how we do, loving on them. Show
Mm-hmm.
affection, yeah, holding hand, maybe a kiss on the cheek, kiss on the forehead, whatever. A good connection, good connection. Don't hold any grudges. Can't hold any grudges. You got to be forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And communication is the key. You got to know how to talk to each other. You got to be able to communicate with each other. So it's just, a lot of love. You got to have healthy boundaries. You got to establish healthy boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
That you need to be able to say no. And when I say that, I mean someone, asks you to do something. If you really can't do it, don't overwhelm yourself. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to say no, and they should
Mm-hmm.
be okay with you saying no.
Do you
Yeah,
think that just in that point of the no part of it, do you think when you say is like the tone in your voice makes a difference when you communicate?
absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
we.
mainly how you say things, not what you say. It's how you say it.
Mm-hmm. I think
Yeah.
when you talk about healthy relationships with and again, I didn't know how to have a healthy relationship. I had to actually learn it because I was never taught how to have a healthy relationship. So what I've gathered, and I'm still working at practicing it, is um, like you said, well, first of all and foremost, having God first, keeping him first so that you can receive his very best. And I think then you go into communication, because without communication you don't have anything.
Right.
Nobody can read your mind. So if you're not effective at communicating how you feel about something, then it's just like I want to do a segment on the five love languages, and I think
Okay.
that'll be a real fun session to have, because with the five love languages, it goes into detail about expressing love to somebody and how they receive love, and versus how you show love.
Oh, that's
For like,
good.
example, one of the there's like a whole series on the five love languages. And so there was this couple who was going through divorce, and through their counseling sessions it came out that the husband was trying to love her with flowers, and not understanding why she didn't like the flowers. Well, she said, I don't like flowers, I just rather him pick up his clothes off the floor. And he was like, well, that's all it took. But again, that was that communication back and forth. They
Right.
wasn't communicating their love language, but they were showing love out of their of how they receive love. So it's important to find out and study the person and see what is it that they really really like. I know when I went through that five love language series, um, it helped me to better communicate with my children. So I know definitely it would work really good with a love relationship or romantic relationship.
Wow, I like that. That's real good. I can't
Yeah.
wait for that one.
Oh, I'm gonna have to dig those CDs up. Look, I'm dating them, but CDs up, or we have to get the book. But that's another thing. But I think communication is key, and also having an attraction to one another, a genuine attraction. Sometimes we try to force, uh, based on other um, attributes, I think, or things that we may think that we want, but having a genuine attraction to that person. And I
Right.
got some of these off of Stephen Speaks. I think that he has an amazing show. I've listened to his YouTube, and he brings a lot of great information about relationships coming from the woman's perspective. And I just think there's a wealth of information to learn. I'm studying him right now.
Yes. Me
Um,
too.
he talks about communication, attraction, and then sharing the same values, and that's what I found to be so true too. Even in partnerships, because when you have a partnership with someone, whether it's a male or a female partnership, if you don't share the same values, those relationships can be derailed, because you will use something that you value, even in like the business plan or whatever, something that you value won't be taken seriously or of concern if that person doesn't have the same value. Like somebody that has a lot of value in honesty and a lot of value in trust or integrity. And if you get a
Right.
partner that those things doesn't matter, you wonder why things keep becoming derailed. That would be the reason why.
Oh yeah, that can be a problem. That can run. You
Mm-hmm.
can run into problems like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was something else that Stefan said in his in one of his YouTubes, which was floored me. And I was like, man, he said one of his topics was, should a woman pay half the rent?
Mm.
Tell me what your thoughts are, Jazz.
I don't mind paying half the rent.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that. That's just me. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. How are
I
you?
don't mind going in half on everything. I have no
Okay.
issues with any of that.
Okay. And you know, and um yeah, there's just like a difference with that, a difference in opinion with that. But I think that's a good point, and that was one of the points that he made as well. He
And
said
it
it's
could
about.
be, not
Go
to
ahead.
interrupt you,
No, go ahead.
and it could be just me. I don't want it, I don't want I want to pay my fair share because I don't want
Because
to
what?
make it I don't want to make it seem like someone has that much control over me that they pay the way of everything. That could be just me. I don't know if that's wrong of me or not,
No,
but I don't mind
it's
paying my fair share. I don't mind doing
well, look,
that.
it's not the matter of being right or wrong, and that's why I didn't prep you for that before the session. I looked down at my notes and said, yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up to her.
Mhm.
But see, okay, so the and his take was like my take, and only because, not that one is right or wrong, and I'll explain that part too. But one thing that he did say was that for him, and again, this is where we talk about being evenly yoked and having balance, and it's like just the balance part of it is like, what shared values do you all have? So
Right.
see, I was raised by a chauvinist. My dad was was a chauvinist.
Okay.
So his thing was, he take care of all the bills and everything, and my mother was very, very strong. So it wasn't that he was going to have control over, because he couldn't have did that anyway. She was a
Right.
Taurus, a bull. She wasn't going to
Me
have that.
too. Me too.
But right. But the thing of it is that he took care of everything, and her money, she took
The
care of the
groceries and the stuff like that.
right, her personal items and stuff like that, and like some
Right.
of the extra things that she wanted to do for us. But as far as like the household, he instilled that in us too. So it wasn't like right or wrong, but he instilled in us too that the man takes care of all of that. And that's sort of what Stephen said. He said that in his household, his vision is to take care of everything and let her work towards her purpose. That's what he saw his role as a man is. But
I like
again, that
that.
was his role. He said he
Mhm.
felt like it was his role to take care of everything, so that the pressures of paying bills or anything like that was not passed on to his lady, because he wanted her to be able to fulfill her purpose and to use her money to walk in her purpose. So he didn't want the pressure of that. But he said he also understood creating balance, where in today's society, with rents being what they are, and just depending on how much money each party is bringing in to live a certain lifestyle, it may take both parties to contribute.
Right.
And so I think that's why I said it was no right or wrong. It's just like
And I
what
don't
the
want to put all
balance
that.
is.
I don't want to put all that on my husband. Be nice
You will
about it.
see,
I
right?
don't want
But
to put
you,
all that on my husband.
like
I
you
don't. I
said,
don't mind helping. If I make money
yeah,
outside the house. Now, if I
yeah.
was a housewife, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
pay all the bills. If that's everybody have a role to play.
Mm-hmm.
in a
Mhm.
relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I work outside the house, so I don't mind paying some of the bills. Half,
Mhm.
I don't mind paying half. I don't mind that.
See, I'm the other way around.
Yeah, I don't. I don't.
I'm the other way around. I'm like, I definitely don't mind contributing. I definitely don't mind, I want to create that balance, but I want my husband to take care of everything. And
Absolutely. Okay.
so I mean, it's just like, I don't know, it's like, again, like I said, it's how we were raised and what our values are and what we value when we grow up. It's not a right or a wrong, it's just what balance you have with your significant other. And I just
Right.
think that all relationships are, you negotiate the terms of the relationship. And again, going back to what he was talking about in his segment, I thought was really great, because it just was what you determined in your relationship was a good balance and a good fit for both of you. But and I go back to this, being able to express and communicate exactly what it is that you want and what it is that, because I'm like the old fashioned girl. I like for my man, my husband, to open the door for me. I just like when to make the reservations. I just, that's
Okay.
me. But it's not a
Hmm.
right or wrong. It's just what your preference is.
Absolutely.
But again, going back to the healthy relationship and what it looks like, it is being able to express yourself, being able to communicate with each other, being able to, and I do agree with what you said about, it's not. I don't think that it's really about the control. I think it's really, in a healthy relationship. Yes, we have our own roles, but I
And
think that men are to protect and provide, and I think I still go back to the woman building a house and making it wonderful for him and for her, because it's her home, it's their home together. So I mean, that's just, again, that's only one way, though. It's not
right.
always.
And that could be me just thinking about the control. I got a little stuff I need to work on too. For me, even thinking that way.
Yeah, we all
Right.
do. We all
Right.
do. But the thing of it is like, and this is what I did, what I have learned is that, how expressing how you start something is
Hmm.
hard to change midway, or it's hard to change after you've been a certain way for a lot of years or whatever. But I think communication, and that's what one of the samples was in the five love language, or examples was that some relationships and marriages that were like on the brink of divorce, it was able to come back and revive, because they were able to fall back in love with each other, because they learned what the love languages were. They
Okay.
learned that they were totally off. And I think I have to dig it up, because it's a wonderful, wonderful series. It really helps you not only in the relationships with men and women, romantic relationships, but it also with, like I said, it helped me with my relationships with my children. I learned
Okay.
and they're adults now, but raising them as a single parent, it really helped me to understand them. And even now, I will go back to thinking about that and say, wait a minute, okay, this one needs affirmation. This one just needs me to do something for him. This one, um, she just needs kumbaya, because she's a kumbaya kind of. It really helped me to see, okay, you can't. My mother used to say this, I love all my kids the same and I treat them all the same. And I used to say I beg to differ, because everybody is different. And for them to
Everybody's
receive the
different.
love that you have for them, it really does take for you to really know that person. Like, when I go to a store and I buy a card for somebody, it takes me about an hour to pick out a card. Some people go in and just grab a card. For me, I will go look at their card, and if it does not speak to me about that person or whatever the situation is or whatever I'm trying to convey, I won't buy it. I don't care what. And sometimes
Right.
I'll actually, this is a little hack, I guess you would say. I'll read a card, and if it don't say everything I wanted to say, but another card did, I'll write in it what that card said.
That's pretty good.
That's just a little card hack, because I wanted to talk to that person. I wanted to be about what we were talking about. But and then going back to healthy relationships, I think we start out as young girls and as young women, we start out kind of um being taught that there's a Prince Charming that's supposed to come and is supposed to rescue us from, I guess from the horrors of life, that he's supposed to ride up on a white horse and supposed to, cart us away, like, Rapunzel in the castle, or Cinderella, with her stepsisters or whatever. And, we're lied to as children. And as we grow up, if we still have those fairy tale notions, we get sadly disappointed because,
Right.
When there is no perfect man. So when a man shows up and you're expecting perfection, you already setting yourself up for failure in that anyway.
Right. No perfect man or no perfect woman.
No perfect man or perfect woman. Somebody once told me,
That's right.
a friend of mine, she told me, she said, it's just you determining what brand of horse manure you you want to deal with. But it's not all horse manure. It can be wonderful and it can be roses, just,
Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
And I think I always go back to TD Jakes' song. It's "You Are My Ministry." I think the words in that song are just so eloquently put. When you have a ebbing and a flowing in a relationship, and everybody is acting in their roles, or being the best that they can be, and you've made up your mind that this is the person that you want to go through life with. And he talks about, in his song, he says, "You are my ministry, you are my help meet too. When I think about loving myself, I think about loving you. You are
Mm.
my do me right, my spiritual song in the night, longing to lay my hands on you, lift you up high when you're feeling blue. Baby, come in and shut the door. Drop all your stuff on the floor." It takes some loving somebody for them to drop their stuff on the floor, and you fine with it. She
Wow.
says, and it's Shirley Murdoch. And she says, "My kind of loving will ease your soul, because you are a special part of me. You are my ministry. I want to hold you. I know it gets rough out there sometimes. I'm anointed to speak the word over you when you don't know what to do. Stroke all your stress away." She says, "I am your wife, the woman he sent. I am your instrument."
Wow.
I think that is so beautiful.
That is nice. And a lot of issues too. And I believe Stephen Speaks said this too. A lot of women are too um, masculine.
Hmm.
We're being too masculine. And we
Mm-hmm.
need to let our man be the man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that comes from maybe because the father wasn't in the home and we had to be strong. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Then when we
Mm-hmm.
get with someone, we don't let them be the man because we so used to being the man and the woman. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we
Yeah.
just have to let the man be the man. If he's worth being the man though. This is just
Mm-hmm.
for, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we too masculine. We too ready. Their role is to take care of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we're
Protect and
so used to
provide. Right.
protect and provide. But we're so strong. A lot of these women are so strong now.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of men don't feel needed. And they have to feel needed.
Mm-hmm. I think
They like
Michelle,
to feel needed.
yes, Michelle
Mhm.
McKinney, I think it's Michelle McKinney who wrote the book, The Power of Femininity.
Mm.
And I think you're right. I think we've lost a lot of the feminine attributes. I just think it's so beautiful. The who was it? Oh my goodness. Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. You know how they dance so eloquently together. I think it was in Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal. He did a whole little skit, in Smooth Criminal. But going back to the black and white movies, the days when the men wore suits and the women wore dresses, or the women were just
Right.
so eloquently dressed, and they would get up every day and put those, the bustiers on. And you got to put your foot in the back to pull them suckers on, and the men wore hats, and they wore jackets, and I mean not jackets, but they wore trench coats, and
Right.
I just think that was so. I think sometimes I think I was dropped in the wrong age period or something, because
Mhm.
that just speaks to me. It's just like
Right.
the man having his role as a man, and then the woman having her role as the woman. I think
Right.
that was just a beautiful time. And when you kind of convoluted it and mixed it all together, we kind of lost that essence. But
Yes.
I guess our point here today, we were just, talking about, or just getting into the topic of what a healthy relationship looks like, and, just taking a little stroll down memory lane, if you will. Um, just to say, hey, love is still out there, like I said before, I'm in a beautiful courtship right now. I took 4 years out to go back and just really learn myself and to heal from some of the woes of life and some of the woes in relationships, just so, I could get it right. So,
Yes, I'm so happy for you.
well, stay tuned. The best is
For
yet to
y'all.
come.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, stay tuned. The best is
Mm-mm.
definitely yet to come. And we will be bringing more and more information to you just to have some conversations with you about different topics. You can drop us some comments in the box below and just let us know what you'd like to hear about. We'll go do some research. Generally, myself and Jazz, we're out here, pounding the pavement, getting some good research information done to bring to you. But tonight, we just wanted to bring you something to be what, Jasmine, Cocoa Butter to Your Heart by India Irie. I'm a
Yes,
music and a movie buff, so I relate to movies and music. So
I like food.
you like food, so you're a foodie. So hey, y'all,
Foodie.
listen up. We're gonna have some raw food recipes coming up. Jazz gonna get us in the kitchen. I just
Mhm.
committed her because we got to give her a little nudge. But she's going to be bringing us some food, and I think it's going to be wonderful to just try some different things.
Yes.
It's smoothie time is coming up, guys. My book is coming out the first quarter of this year. Yay! And we've been putting information in to let you all know about it because we want to, even though we're not working in our capacity as naturopathic wellness coaches right now, but we want to bring you some information that's going to help you with your digestive system. And smoothies is a great way for you to for the blenders to blend up the food, and you get 80% plus of the nutritional value versus if you chew it. When you chew your food, you're only getting about 2%. So it's a big difference when you go smoothies. So we're
That's
going to be
right.
bringing you some delicious smoothie recipes in It's Smoothie Time. So I hope everybody just, have a wonderful evening. Jazz, is there anything else you want to leave everybody with?
Absolutely. I want you guys to stay safe, be blessed, and we'll see you guys at the top because it's just too crowded at the bottom.
Yes.
Next time.
Don't forget to like, share, and
And
subscribe.
subscribe.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.